Okay.
You just have to,
Are you ready?
I was gonna say you just have to block my face out before the YouTube thing because of the whole witness protection program deal. But other than that, it's good.
Could you mute yourself now, Chris?
Oh yeah. After that joke, put him on mute. Cut his mic.
Okay. So I think we're on. So this song is by They Might Be Giants. It came out in 1988. It is called Kiss Me, Son of God. Okay, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
You start.
I built a little empire out of some crazy garbage called the blood of the exploited working class. But they've overcome their shyness, now they're calling me your highness, and the world screams, kiss me, son of God. I destroyed a bond of friendship and respect between the only people left who'd even look me in the eye. Now I laugh and make a fortune off the same ones that I tortured, and the world screams, kiss me, son of God. I look like Jesus, so they say, but Mr. Jesus is very far away. Now you're the only ones here who can tell me if it's true that you love me and I love me. I built a little empire out of some crazy garbage called the blood of the exploited working class. But they've overcome their shyness, now they're calling me your highness, and the world screams, kiss me, son of God. Yes, the world screams, kiss me, son of God. So there you have it.
We scared somebody away.
I don't think
Awesome.
acapella. Joe just said that was
good stuff.
great. I don't know if I ever heard that song, but now I have.
Yeah, I don't know if I know that one.
It's off of, is that on Lincoln?
It's Lincoln.
Lincoln, their second album?
Lincoln is long time ago.
Yeah.
Seems strangely relevant though still today.
Yes,
Yeah.
strangely.
Well, should we follow with that one?
Yeah,
Okay.
you guys want something depressing?
Please.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to change the view here. Oops. How do I make it be? Why do I not know what I'm doing here?
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to make it speaker, like us, be the main thing, but for some reason it's focusing on Chris, even though he's not even talking. And we're the ones talking. Why are you not changing, machine? Okay, well, whatever.
I think you can pin your video.
Your video, if you click
Oh yeah, we both said
dots and then pin video.
Video. What is that?
Oh, there.
Oh.
Pin video. All right.
Woof! Yikes. Okay, so this is a Sinead O'Connor song. This is the last day of our acquaintance.
Okay. This is the last day of our acquaintance. I'll meet you later in somebody's office. I'll talk, but you won't listen to me. used to hold my hand when the plane took off. 2 years ago, there just seems so much more. And I don't know what happened to our love. Today's the day our friendship has been stale. It'll be later to finalize the details. 2 years ago, the seed was planted. And since then, you have taken me for granted. This is the last day of our acquaintance. I will meet you later in somebody's office. I'll talk, but you won't listen to me. I know your answer already. But this is the last day of our acquaintance. I will meet you later in somebody's office. I'll talk, but you won't listen to me. I know your answer already. I know your answer already. I know your answer already.
And there it is. The sadness.
Did we scare Chris away?
We scared Chris away, and so sorry about that.
Hey, Tiso.
And there's Tiso.
I feel like Chris must have had internet problems or something. Weird in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like he touched his computer or anything. He was just still in the top.
Oh.
I think maybe crying a little bit.
Died.
You think we made him cry?
Definitely.
Just kidding. I don't want to make anybody cry. Unless you really feel like that's good for you, and then please cry. Crying is cathartic.
I think I lost part of my sock. The dog ripped it off.
Charlie started like he wanted to participate.
I know that song so well I couldn't help singing along the pose.
Yeah, good. Yes, I kept those out just so that you would sing them.
Yeah.
You could have clicked in the moment and said,
There he is.
"You came back."
Sorry, my Zoom froze, and then all of a sudden,
It knocked it out.
yeah.
It happens.
I love that song. I used to have that album, that Sinead O'Connor album. That's such a great album.
It's good stuff. Well, what do you think? Who wants to go next? Don't all volunteer at once.
That's the one.
Do you want Chris to go? Did you point, or did you want Sophia to go?
saying we rotated, it'd probably be Chris's turn.
Yes, Chris, go. Are you ready?
All right.
We'll mute.
Mine's hopefully funny. This is something that Joe has read before and a few of my other friends. I put these little stories together in a book. I don't know if that's backwards or not. It's called The Calculator Kid. But these are little stories about this little, he's a grade school detective who's kind of like James Cagney. He's a little tough kid. And anyway, that's the premise. I'm going to read part one of the first story. It's not super long. Might be 4 or 5 minutes, but hopefully you enjoy it. Here we go. There's several stories in this book. This one is called The Calculator Kid Meets Dollface. All right. They call me the Calculator Kid, but you probably already knew that. In case you're still behind the 8 ball, though, I'll enlighten you. They call me the Calculator Kid because I always calculate a case dead on, I always get my man, and I usually get the girl, too. Now that we're acquainted, let me tell you my story. Last Thursday, about an hour before gym class, I was sitting in my office, which doubles as the boys' bathroom on the second floor C hall just down from the teacher's lounge, on a stool I had borrowed from the janitor's closet, reading the school paper when this dame walks in. Normally, no dames are allowed in the boys' bathroom, but I got my secretary out front, a little redhead that goes by the name of Melissa Marmot, who's also employed by the school as a hall monitor for first and third period, and she screens all my clientele before sending them in. I trust her implicitly, no question. Anyway, this dame I didn't know too well walks in and stands there, biting her nails and looking at the stalls. That's a dirty habit, Dollface, I said. What is, she asked, looking scared. Biting your nails, I came back with. Didn't you take health class yet? She didn't say anything. She just looked me up and down. Boy, this broad was a knockout. Her school uniform was strictly regulation, but nothing else about her was at all by the book. Her shoes were all grass-stained, and she had a rug burn just below her left knee above her stocking, and a little scab had formed there. It was the kind of rug burn you might get playing tiddlywinks or Barbies in the living room or playing doctor in some Lucky Schmuck's carpeted basement. I made a mental note to dig out my plastic stethoscope from my toy closet when I got home from school. Sure, I took health class, she finally answered. That's why I don't usually hang around the boys' bathroom. It's filthy in here. She had me there. The place was a dump. I used to use the teacher's lounge as an office, but the old farts in there really started getting on my nerves, sticking their nose into my business all the time, trying to get their mitts all over my cases, and I finally had enough. I moved into the boys' bathroom about 2 weeks ago. Just a temporary setup until I can get some digs somewhere a little less dingy. I got my eye on a nice little spot over by the library in the ESL classroom, but I haven't worked out all the details just yet. It'll happen soon enough, though. Don't you worry about that. Well, you're here now, I said, so spill it. Tell me what you need. Who says I need anything, she asked. I say so. You wouldn't be here if you didn't need my specialized services. Grow up, she said, sounding a little disgusted. Give me 10 years, Dollface, and I'll be happy to oblige. My name isn't Dollface, so please stop calling me that. She looked towards the door. No need to get touchy, I said, doing my best to sound hurt. I'm all for equal rights, just so long as a broad knows how to throw a decent tea party. Look, I'm not interested in your politics. I just want you to find my Betty Weddy doll. She looked as though she were about to cry. So that was it. She was looking for her Betty Weddy doll. Not everyone is so upfront. Usually you have to start out tough, break the client down a little, and then when they get upset, you act like Mr. Nice Guy. They get all confused, or they think they can trust you, and they usually end up telling you what they want you to do for them. Lots of people feel like they got something to hide, though, like you're going to judge them or something, but that isn't my game. I leave that business up to the principal and the guidance counselor. My game is getting people what they want and getting paid for it. My standard fee is 35 cents a day plus expenses. What kind of expenses? She asked suspiciously. Well, there's notebooks and paper to buy, not to mention pencils and erasers. The clues don't just keep track of themselves, you know. There's also the personnel to take care of. You don't think Miss Marmot works for nothing, do you? That kid has a taste for chocolate milk like you wouldn't believe. Fine, I'll pay your fee. It's no problem anyway. I get an allowance of $5 a week, she said, shaking her hair a little haughtily. I let out a low whistle. $5? Your old man must be loaded to give you that kind of dough on a weekly basis. He does all right for himself. He's a surgeon over at the hospital. I'll keep it in mind, I said. My old lady needs a hip replacement. Maybe we can trade favors if I find your dolly for you. If, she asked, her eyes narrowing. I thought you always solved your cases. When I find your dolly, I said reassuringly. When? You'll get your Betty Weddy doll back. Don't you worry your pretty little head about that. She seemed satisfied, but a thought suddenly occurred to me. Say, if your old man is set up like you say he is, why not just ask him for a new Betty Weddy? I'm betting he'd get it for his little princess in a heartbeat. Sure, she said, I could do that, but then I'd have to hear him lecture me on responsibility and pride of ownership and keeping track of all my belongings, and I just can't go through all that again. Besides, my Betty Weddy doll has a lot of sentimental value, if you know what I mean. As a matter of fact, I didn't know what she meant, but I jotted the word sentimental down in the margin of my newspaper and made a mental note to look it up in the giant dictionary in the library next time I was at that end of D Hall. I'll need to get an advance payment for at least 3 days in order to get started on the case, I said. Lots of people back out at the last minute, and I end up with the short end of the stick. I haven't got any cash on me just now, she started. With an income of $5 a week and a surgeon for a daddy? I don't think so, sister, I interrupted. She sighed and dug around in her pocket for a minute before producing a crumpled bill. You're a nickel short, sweetheart, I said, taking the bill from her and depositing it in my back pocket. Oh, I'm good for it, she said, turning sweet for the first time since she'd walked into my office. I'll make up the difference when you return my doll. That sounded promising. She blew me a kiss and walked out the door. I might have to put away the plastic stethoscope and go straight for the CPR kit, I thought. I hadn't realized how worked up I was getting. But now that she was gone, I went over to the sink and splashed some water on my face. I walked out the door a moment later and came face to face with Melissa Marmot. Hiya, kid, I said. How's tricks? Don't hiya kid me, she said angrily. She was positively fuming. Whoa, what's eating you? Oh, nothing that a crowbar and 5 minutes alone with Little Miss Sunshine wouldn't cure. You're talking about... I'm talking about Annabelle Frost, that little tramp you just agreed to do a job for. I take it you two have met? Met? Yes, we've met. We had adjoining carpet squares during nap time in PM kindergarten. She always got picked to go around and wake everyone up with Mrs. Harrison's wake-up wand. You were there too, if you can remember that far back. Ah, yes, that's where I knew her from. Mrs. Harrison's afternoon kindergarten class. And then we'd all moved on to Mrs. Colby's first grade classroom last year. I hadn't paid much attention to her back then. Little did I know how much the summer break would aid in her development. She thinks she's so perfect, Melissa Marmot continued. Always telling everyone her daddy is a surgeon. I bet $100 he did her entire science project for her last year. I mean, what first grader designs and builds a working volcano on her own? Parents are supposed to help, not do the work for you. Jealous much? I snickered. Me, jealous? Jealous of that little... She stopped. I have to stop talking about her because I'm about to say something mean. And my mom always says, if you can't say anything nice about someone, then don't say anything at all. Good piece of advice, I said, mulling it over. I'll try to remember that one. Look, I have to get to math class. We're supposed to be practicing grouping ones into tens, and I don't want to miss that. Will you be okay by yourself here for a little while? You betcha, kiddo. You run along to math, make your parents proud. I'll watch The Office here for a bit more and then head over to the gym. See if I can't make it all the way up the rope climb today. Ever since I'd given up candy bars and tried to get in shape, that had been the running joke between us. Melissa Marmot stomped off down the hallway, removing her hall monitor sash as she went. Her gym shoes were squeaking on the linoleum like nobody's business, and she had a little hole in the back of one of her stockings that for some reason gave me a little lump in my throat. I might as well tell you that Melissa Marmot and I had a history, although a brief one. We'd kissed twice last year, once in the cloakroom when we both happened to be running late for class, and once under the piano just after Sunday school. I suppose it didn't mean much for either of us. We were just kids experimenting, neither one of us thinking straight. But still, I felt like we had shared a moment, especially under the piano. So if Melissa Marmot was jealous of Annabelle Frost, I wanted to know why. That's the end of part 1.
Nice. I have read these
You
stories.
have that? Oh, awesome.
But I
Read that?
read a while, and now I'm inspired to reread it. And look at that picture on the back. Ooh.
Younger days.
I just love hearing you read it too. It's
Thanks.
yeah.
It definitely carries the characters and little personalities.
Yeah, it's a fun little story. There's 4 or 5 of them in that book. They were really fun to write.
So thanks for bringing that back into my brain. Welcome, Tiso and Audrey. Are you planning on sharing anything today at all? It's okay if you're not. No, that's
No, we're just here to enjoy the show.
so. If we go back continue in our rotation, yes, Sophia, are you ready to go for it? Okay.
Okay, this is Winter is All Over You by First Aid Kit. See if I can, do it right. Well, you drove off in the summer rain. I waved to you like a sleeping dream. Told me stay callous if someone bothered me. The Eiffel Tower, the marching band, but I'm sure you wouldn't understand. I just hope you don't stay gone. Don't leave. Don't leave this world with me. I saw your mother at the department store. She looked innocent like a stillborn, but all I could think about was this sting. Since you've gone, nothing's been the same. The wind don't sing and the sky's so dim. I've seen her staring up to it, saying, don't leave, don't leave this world with me. When the winter calls to war, when the spring sets in once more, when the summer starts to sing, when the fall comes marching in, you leave this world with me. That's all.
That one.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I like the darkness too.
Very trance-like.
Oof. Yeah.
I was commenting to Tiso how proud your parents must be of you. Congratulations on graduating, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw some of the pictures. Very exciting.
Yeah.
So I guess it's
Good job.
Why would you do that? It's falling in my guitar. Was that confetti?
Whoops.
So I'm going to present something to you. I'm going to rearrange things a little bit here. So I'm going to talk to you while I'm doing it. So I don't knock things over. So I would like to sing for you a song that I would like to dedicate to my students, and it's a song that they wanted to sing, and they did this last term. We just finished our spring term, as some of you know, and so it's Dear Theodosia from Hamilton, and I just wanted to sing that for y'all and them, and they like that song. And even though I don't have children of my own, I think of my students that way, and of course I get to send them on to their families when I am done interacting with them and helping them and guiding them and whatnot. But I still feel love for them and want very much for the world to be a better place for them. So here is that song. I'm going to do this now that I know how to do it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And Charlie might make some noise out there, but that's okay. Dear Theodosia, what to say to you? You have my eyes, you have your mother's name. When you came into the world, you cried. It broke my heart. I'm dedicating every day to you. Domestic life was never quite my style. When you smile, you knock me out, I fall apart. And I thought I was so smart. Come of age with our young nation. We'll lead and fight for you. We'll make it right for you. If we lay a strong enough foundation, we'll pass it on to you. We'll give the world to you. You'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. Yeah, you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. Oh, Philip, when you smile, I am undone. My son, look at my son. Pride is not the word I'm looking for. There is so much more inside me now. Oh, Philip, you outshine the morning sun. My son, when you smile, we fall apart, and I thought I was so smart. My father wasn't around, my father wasn't around. I swear that I'll be around for you. I'll do whatever it takes, I'll make mistakes, I'll make the world safe and sound for you. We'll come of age with our young nation. We'll lead and fight for you. We'll make it right for you. If we lay a strong enough foundation, we'll pass it on to you. We'll give the world to you, and you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. Yeah, you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. Thank you. Oh, that's funny. There's two of us. I'm so confused. I think I lost.
Chris got bumped off, and I logged in so I could let him in because
Oh,
waiting room.
got it. I heard the bing bong bings, and I was like, "What is happening?" Oh, good, but yeah.
Bing bong bing.
Well, there was like, there's notifications that tell you things.
Strange computer.
Yes.
I think my favorite was Audrey's face, like while she was logging on. You logged on and you were like,
That's my favorite song from Hamilton.
Yeah, it's so sweet. Does anybody else want to share anything else?
oh, yeah, I prepared.
Did Joe perform?
We did something together.
Ooh, what did you guys perform?
This
Depressing
is
stuff.
yes, depressing song. This is the last day of our acquaintance.
Is it an original? Can't hear. Is it an original?
Sinead O'Connor.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't hear. Sorry.
It's
And we did a They Might Be Giants song,
Oh, nice.
a cappella.
I won't make you do it again. I'll watch the recording later.
So maybe we just have a short and sweet one. Unless Chris, do you want to read anything else, or Joe, do you want to read anything?
Yeah, enough depressing stuff.
Enough depressing stuff. Okay, that's true. This was, yeah, it's kind of a.
We have an exciting night planned to watch some more of the new season of Queer Eye. So that's what we'll be doing after this.
It's good balm for the soul.
Yeah. I think short and sweet is okay.
Yeah.
Although I could always listen to Chris read more. So there's that.
Well, if you want to hear more, I can read more, but it's totally up to you guys.
So Tisa didn't know that you wrote that piece, that book. That you were reading from
You guys
earlier.
are good? Yeah. It's I self-published it. You can find it on lulu.com. Are we allowed to advertise on here? Sorry. Shameless self-promotion there. Yeah, it's a fun little book of it's little stories about that little kid detective.
What is the website?
It's just called Lulu, LULU.com. But you gotta, I think there's two. I think there's one that it's like if you just type in Lulu, there's like a fashion website that's much bigger that comes up first. But if you put in Lulu self-publishing, that's the one that comes up, or Lulu Books or something like that. And then you just put my name in, and it'll show you. I've got 3 or 4 books on there. It'll direct you to that one. Well, it'll direct you to my name, and then you can pick that one if you're interested.
I Googled it and found it on Across the Margin. I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah. I also got, this story got published on that website too.
Oh, okay.
I was pretty happy about. Yeah, that was fun.
It actually kind of reminds me of that Timmy Failure. We actually didn't watch the whole thing, but there's this movie based on a book called Timmy Failure. And the filming, a lot of it happened in St. John's. So they filmed like the school, they film at the playground at Sitton, which is like just a few blocks from us. And he has an imaginary, seems like he has a polar bear as a pet.
Oh.
What?
Reminded me of you, Audrey, because he has a pet named polar bear.
Polar bear.
But the bear's name is Total, I think.
Oh.
Because it was Total Failure investigating.
That's right.
Yeah.
The kid is very serious, a lot like
Calculator
the
Kid.
Calculator Kid.
It's not, well, it is a little, not quite the noir hard-boiled, but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched a James Cagney movie one night years ago, White Heat. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's like gets out of prison and he's like killing people and his mom's crazy. And he's like, I did it, Ma. He's like at the last scene, he's like burning in this like tower, screaming something like, we did it, Ma, or something. And it's a very dark, like even from like whenever it was made, like 1942 or something. I was surprised at how like emotional and dark and like psychologically kind of affecting it was. But the next day I was still thinking about it, and I don't know. I just started talking this like, what, like, say, what's going on? See, like, trying old 40s voice, and then I started getting this character of like what little kids would sound like back then. Like, I was like, they didn't just sound like that as adults. Like the little kids had to be like, "What's up, Ma? How about some cookies?" You know. And then I started like typing the story, and I was like, "Oh, I'll just write like a couple pages." And I wrote that whole first one in like 2 hours. I just from beginning to end, like the whole thing just came together in this big. Just like in the moment, I edited it a couple times, but it was pretty much a finished product from like start to finish. I was shocked at how. But the character got so like well developed in my mind that like suddenly I could just see like, okay, this is the story is just driven by the character. So I just followed wherever he was going, and it went pretty quickly. So it was really fun.
That's so awesome.
The one on the across the margin that you were looking at is that one's on the trail of the Fat Man. The little school mafia hires him to find out if there's an actual Santa Claus, because if there is, they want to shake him down and get extra sticks. So
Oh.
Kidnap
that was a Christmas story. What's that?
Kidnap the Sandy Claus?
Yeah, that's what they want to do. They want to find out if so they hire the calculator kid to figure out if there really is a Santa Claus or not, so they can go ahead with their diabolical plan.
He is sad.
What?
No, she's quoting the Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
Well, thanks everybody.
Yeah, thank you. It's so good to see you.
Thanks for sharing.
Bye.
Nice. Love it.
Well,
We're planning on doing another one, I think, in July, but we don't have a date yet. But yeah,
Cool.
let you know.
Awesome. See ya.
Bye.
Hi guys.
Bye. Bye.
I love Charlie.
Charlie. Oh my goodness.
She's-
Oh my gosh, she's so ridiculous. He's too funny in his cone. Oh, sorry. I was